We will now start the press conference for Foreign Affairs Minister Kamikawa. I have 3 points to make. First point is regarding my visit to New York of the United States from the 17th to the 20th of March. This month, Japan is going to be serving as the president for the second time during the as the UN Security Council member. On the 18th of March, I will be holding the ministerial meeting on disarmament and non-proliferation at the UNSC. Against the backdrop of increasingly difficult environment for international security, the road toward a world without nuclear arms is also becoming very difficult. During the UNSC meeting to achieve a world without nuclear arms with participation of the nuclear weapon states, substantial discussions will be conducted to lead to a specific action toward the world without nuclear weapons. During my visit in New York, I will also be meeting with the ministers participating in the UNSC in bilateral meetings, international organizations, as well as WPS.
Second point. Since the 7th of October, there was a terrorist attack occurred by Hamas and others, and the combat at the Gaza started, and it's been 5 months. Referring to the changing situation time to time, I have been at the forefront to make the diplomatic effort as the most important diplomatic issue, but the local humanitarian situation has become tougher. The fund to the UNRWA is funded by the tax and involvement in the terrorist attack. So based on this magnitude, we are suspending the funding. And regarding the UNRWA issues, it's been widely recognized that UNRWA has been playing a vital role. So UNRWA itself should take actions. And UNRWA issue, so far, we communicated with the various stakeholders through the various channels, through UN, UNRWA, and other countries. Survey by UN and progress by the third-party verification, as well as action taken by UNRWA, we have been considering our response as a country of Japan. In the near future, the third-party verification group's interim report is scheduled to be submitted. Last year, I had a telephone talk with Chair Corona, and the necessity of enhancing the governance and the Japanese position has been conveyed. I myself has been aggressively taking actions with more agility. We will take a response. The most important issue so far is the Gaza people who are suffering. So as quickly as possible to deliver the support supplies. Currently, international organizations are closely collaborating and delivering goods and the foods through WFP and UNICEF, such as sanitary products. So while working together with the various international organizations using their respective strengths, we have been extending support. By using supplemental budget, the food support to WFP, Monday on the 11th, the first package completed the procurement in Jordan and waiting at the cargo checkpoint, getting access to Gaza Strip. And in order to promote the acceptance of the severe patients and neonatals now to Egypt, we have been working together with the WHO. As for funding, we grasp the progress of the support and how much benefit that the Japanese support has been provided, those are properly monitored. In addition, in order to deliver support supplies to as many as possible, Japan will participate in a maritime humanitarian corridor led by Cyprus, US, and UAE. To ensure the environment, the humanitarian ceasefire should be quickly and realized. And it is important that it should lead to the ceasefire in a sustainable manner. So we will continue urging the people to take actions from humanitarian perspectives and seeking for the realization of two-state solutions. And we will work together with relevant countries to do so. We dispatched the State Minister Tsuji to Palestine and Israel. In the near future, the Special Envoy for the Middle East, the peace to the Middle Eastern region, Mr. Uemura Tsukasa, will be dispatched. And prior to that, the Director General of the Middle East and African Affairs Bureau, Mr. Ando Hidetoshi, will be dispatched. So I will continue engaging in the diplomatic effort at the forefront for the coming down of the situations.
Next, I'd like to proceed to the third point. Securing safety for the Japanese nationals traveling and staying overseas is one of the most important responsibilities of the government. On the part of MOFA, we have provided the support in terms of evacuation of nationals last year from Sudan, Israel, as well as Palestine. And as a part of this initiative, as you can see in the supplement that has been distributed to you, we have provided this supplement to GOGO 13's Overseas Safety Manual for Small and Medium-Sized Industries. This is the book. We have also prepared such a poster as well. Regarding this manual, it was first published as a first edition in 2017 and what has been evaluated very highly. Taking into consideration the current situation, we have added a new episode for safety measures to be implemented by Japanese nationals in times of emergencies. I myself will be appearing as Foreign Minister Takakura in this episode. We will be issuing 32,000 copies to be distributed to companies widely. It will also be available on the MOFA website. For the Tabi Reg, utilizing GOGO 13, as well as the residence report, a PR poster has been prepared as well, as I have shown you earlier. Please make sure to register to Tabi Reg, as well as the residence report, depending on the length of your stay. Now, on the part of MOFA, as recovery is made in terms of inbound and outbound travelers, we will do our utmost to secure safety of Japanese nationals overseas. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Saito Production as well as related parties for cooperating with us in formulation of this manual. That is all.
If you have a question, please raise your hand, and if you are designated, then please ask your question. Yomiuri Shimbun, Kamimura-san, please. Kamimura from Yomiuri Shimbun. The UNSC and the ministerial meeting, I have a question with. You serve as the chair to have a session with the theme of the nuclear disarmament and non-proliferations. But Japan is the victim country of an atomic bomb, but at the same time embracing the benefit of the nuclear umbrella by the United States. So what sort of role to be played as a chair, and what sort of outcome would you expect? As I mentioned earlier at the outset, the role to the world without the nuclear weapon has become more tougher. So in order to realize a world without nuclear weapon, we need to involve the nuclear weapon state, and take practical and realistic initiatives in a steady manner. In the upcoming meeting, we will make use of the characteristic of the UNSC, where the nuclear power state taking part as a chair. I intend to accelerate the substantial discussion between the nuclear state and the non-nuclear state. Based on the discussions we had at the G7 Hiroshima Summit held in May and last year, by steadily taking actions stated in the Hiroshima Action Plan, we would like to lead to the concrete action to the world without nuclear weapons.
Miyano-san of Chugoku Shimbun, please. This is Miyano of Chugoku Shimbun. I have a related question. As you just mentioned, at the G7 Hiroshima Summit, the Hiroshima vision is going to be emphasized. Regarding this vision, in terms of transparency, as well as the MCT and CTBT are also mentioned. What kind of results are you hoping to achieve? Do you think that this will be included in the declaration of the meeting? For this year, the NPT review conference is taking place, and this is a midterm year. Therefore, it is very important. We are now the president of UNSC for this month. On the part of Japan, for the first time under our presidency, we will be conducting a public meeting of disarmament as well as non-proliferation with the participation of a nuclear weapon state. This is very meaningful to engage in this discussion. You have also asked about how this result is going to be protected. The actual discussions to be accelerated is of utmost importance. And regarding nuclear disarmament, the G7 leaders' Hiroshima vision is an important step, and we would like to lead that to the Hiroshima Action Plan.
Miyano-san, please. At the UNSC, in addition to the the major nuclear powers, there are the countries, the member states of the TPNW, and the Prime Minister Kishida the stresses the importance of the exit toward the world without nuclear weapon. Do you have any intention to comment on that in that meeting? TPNW is a quite important treaty which is leads to the exit to the world without nuclear weapon. In the treaty, the nuclear powers do not take part in the treaty, so there is no visibility to reach the way to the exit. We are the only country victimized by the atomic weapons, and we are in a position that we need to involve nuclear power countries. So from that perspective, with the participation of the nuclear power, we engage in the discussion for the realization of the world without nuclear weapon is quite significant. And what sort of outcome and what sort of message that we will disseminate at this point in time, I would like to refrain from making comment to make a prejudged comment. but to accelerate the substantial discussion between nuclear power and non-nuclear power and lead to the concrete action of the Hiroshima Action Plan.
NHK Igarashi-san, please. This is Igarashi of NHK. I have a question regarding Nippon Steel. The Nippon Steel was planning to acquire U.S. steel, but on the 14th, President Biden said that the U.S. steel continues. It is important that it remains domestically owned and operated, so negative view has been expressed. It is very rare for the president to be talking about the acquisition of a private sector company. What is your view on this? Regarding the statement made, I understand that it is the case. But this is a matter relating to an individual company. Therefore, I will refrain from making a comment. At any rate, the Japan-U.S. alliance is stronger than ever. And Japan and the United States are committed to cooperate in order to realize the sustainable, inclusive Indo-Pacific, as well as to maintain the economic order based on rules that is open. We will continue to work in the area of economic security as well and work in close collaboration.
Katsurada-san from Kyodo Tsushin, please. I'm Katsurada from Kyodo Tsushin. I have two questions about Russia. Today, presidential elections started. The eastern part and the southern part of the Ukraine are one-sidedly annexed by Russia. The presidential election will take place. So what is your take? And the Ambassador Muto, the Japanese ambassador to Russia, expressed his intention to promote a cultural exchange. And I also would like to hear your view on the importance of the cultural diplomacy. I think we've got a number of questions, so I would like to respond one by one. As for the presidential election and my take about that, from the 15th to the 17th of March, Russian presidential election takes place. Russia illegally annexed the certain region of Ukraine, and Russian government conduct the election in that region. So the annexation of the region to Russia, that is infringe the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the Ukraine. And this is not consistent with the UN resolution. So this is not acceptable. Hence, if Russian government conduct the so-called presidential election in those regions, then this cannot be accepted. On this point, this has been confirmed at the G7 leaders' statement, and we have confirmed about the fact. And as for the cultural exchange, the cultural exchange and its in effect and purpose to the Russian nationals. Japan, in order to realize the peace, lasting peace in Ukraine, we are firmly engaging in the strict sanction against Russia while collaborating with the international communities. At the same time, because we are under such a situation, so we maintain the touch point with the Russian civil society. And we believe it is important to offer the opportunity to have an international perspective now for the nationals of Russia. From that perspective, we are implementing cultural and the human exchange projects to facilitate the understanding on the grassroots on the level. So many of the G7 countries are implementing similar projects with the same view. And as for the importance of the cultural diplomacy, the diplomacy will spread the mutual understanding of the counterpart country, and through people-to-people exchange, it solidifies the relationship with Japan. Hence, we believe it is important. And as a Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Japan foundations and Japan houses are utilized to make an appeal of the Japanese attractiveness. So we will continue disseminating the charm of Japan. At the same time, the culture exchange, the intellectual exchange, and the people exchange will be promoted. And we will make effort to create the foundation for peace and a stable relationship.
Matsuyama-san, Asahi Shimbun, please. This is Matsuyama of Asahi Shimbun. I'd like to ask a question regarding UNRWA. You said that the resumption of providing funding is to be accelerated going forward. Within this month, the third-party verification interim report will be made available. After this report is provided, is that the timing at which resumption will be considered, or is there a specific timing in which this will be considered? Now, within the current situation, we will try to accelerate the process. The Gaza situation is in dire straits today. Today, I cannot give you specific details about how we are going to proceed because the situation is in a flux. So I will refrain from giving you details. But the situation is very grave. We fully understand this situation, and based on that, we will make the best decision going forward.
Matsuyama-san, please. Another question. U.S. government, the State Minister and Blinken will visit in the Philippines and have a meeting with President Marcos and ministers of the Philippines. That was reported. So in April, the party summit meeting is planned involving the U.S., Japan, and the Philippines. But the Minister Kamikawa would have a plan to visit the Philippines, capturing that opportunity. On that question, the foreign ministerial meeting between Japan, U.S., and the Philippines, we have no plan to hold a meeting.
IWJ, please. My name is Hamamoto of IWJ. I have a question regarding Ukraine. Japan is providing a grant aid, 69 billion yen. In January, 57.8 billion yen, and February, 15.8 billion yen. This grant aid has been decided. We are the largest debt nation in the world with the slush funds of the government as well of the ruling government as well as tax evasion allegations. Why do you want to why does the Kishida administration continue to provide funding to Ukraine using taxpayers' money? Regarding the aggression by Russia to Ukraine shakes the very foundation of the international order. As Prime Minister Kishida has repeated on several occasions, today's Ukraine could be East Asia of tomorrow. Against this backdrop, on my part, I believe we cannot tolerate unilateral change of the status quo by force. And that is the reason why like-minded nations must continue in solidarity to provide support to Ukraine. So on the part of the Japanese government, we will continue to work with G7 as well as Global South nations, working together with these nations so that we will fulfill our responsibility as a responsible major power. The significance of such support will be explained in detail to the people of Japan so that we can solicit their understanding.
Thank you. Shimbun Arakawa-san, please. Arakawa from Sankei. At the outset, you mentioned the overseas the safety manual in the minister's office. the Japanese residing in overseas and in SMEs and the safety request has been placed. But have you experienced being as a character in the manga? Or, I mean, if this is your first time, what is your impression on that, appearing in the manga? Okay. As for your question, I think I've never appeared in the manga before. Golgo 13 is very popular manga. I know myself as well. And from the foreign minister's view, and the foreign ministry's view, there are some stories which may be foreign to the people, but then with the power of Mr. Saito, he made a great contribution to familiarize people to get to know about the subject. So I'm very much appreciative for that. I just opened the page. I will be appearing in the manga. On that, it's indeed a great honor and privilege. In some sense, this may be one form of an expression of soft power. So there are the soft power and hard power. And there are a variety of areas available within the soft power. So using the media as a manga. Manga is spreading around the globe. And Golgo 13 has big fan base. So now this is a great contribution. So I'm very much appreciative for that.
My name is UNRWA. As mentioned at the outset, regarding the maritime humanitarian corridor for Cyprus, you said that Japan will be participating. What kind of involvement will it be? In the Gaza region, the necessary food as well as drugs and sanitary products must be provided to each individual. However, this is very difficult because of constraints between the borders. Therefore, the on-land logistics as well as supply from the maritime route will be utilized so that the supplies can be delivered in an expeditious manner to individuals. So based on this policy, we will do what we can. We are considering what kind of contribution can be made. The specific process will involve cooperation. And in the framework, we are considering what the process can be enabled. At any rate, to deliver to the actual ground is of utmost importance. We will consider all possibilities and expedite the process as much as possible. With that, we would like to conclude. Thank you.